This is Duelist, Suckon of CSJ of MWLLL. We are bringing you the Chaos March action. Here are tonight's lineups for the fourth of 5 maps. Marius, LAPC Prime. No Warhammer A. Serpentis, Sula F. Bob, Madcat, MK2 Prime. Duchy C for Burner. Stubble in a MK2 Echo. Osiris E for Halo and Osiris E for Luke. Opposing them on the other team is 2 Osiris E's for Micropig and Yeti. Kentax and Asula I. Mr. Bubbles Atlas for Proxima and Invictus. Starter Wraith in a Morrigu Delta. A Loki Foxtrot for Pabst and an LAPC Prime for Shooter. The match has begun. This is TC Inferno, a ridiculously hot map. It's literally pretty much on a volcano, on lava. So weapons discipline, firing discipline is absolutely critical here, and making sure that you make the most of your shots with your ammo dependent weapons is important as well. We just had an excellent battle where one team hunkered into a side base with short range super firepower, and they eventually got annihilated by a Hawkmoth with LRMs because of a lack of anti-air. I was the battle armor on that battle, and we attempted to do our thing. It was a close fight, but in the end, the war of attrition with the Hawkmoth LRMs was enough to take us down. I am the independent supervisor, director of the event, but also sometimes a player. My unit is the SJs. You can see a couple of them are on the clan side, and this is the Wolverines Rebirth side. Wolverines-rebirth.de is their website. They are a friendly unit that plays alongside of us a lot, and Burner is their leader and provides the server we're playing on right now. And there are a number of, let's say, mercenaries signed up for both teams. If they don't have a tag on it, it's fair to assume that they are a mercenary. This event is open to anyone that wants to play. We require TeamSpeak, and we meet up at the TeamSpeak in the show notes at the bottom of this video description. And we play this on most weekends, Saturday and Sunday, but for this coming week, the October teens, the teens of October, we are going to be playing on Friday and Sunday. We are having good turnout today, 8v8, 9v9 battles, which is very good considering our player population today, and we've had some good fights, and the downtime has been a little bit longer than normal for this upcoming fight due to some external factors, so the two teams are definitely ready to tear into each other with these awesome machines of war. We've been following the two teams. They've been asked to repeat their general steps and directions before we had a restart of the map due to technical issue, and now that both teams have arrived where they were, they are free to do whatever they normally would do. We can see Shooter is a battle armor infantry with 3 total lives. The rest of these assets cannot respawn once they've been destroyed. And we see both teams. Let's see if we can follow some of the air combat. We have Warlord Kentax here, having made a kill, taking down Serpentis. So now he has an excellent air battle that I should have been following. Sorry at home. Luke maybe or one of the other streamers might have that for you. If they do, I'll put a link in there. But Kentax is able to win the battle of the aerospace pilots, and now will generally have free reign to take on his opponent, as I believe their anti-air options are pretty limited. Let's go over there and take a look. Yes, the MK2 that Stubble's in has 4 UX5s and LRMs, so if he's able to get some shots off, that can do some damage, as can Bob. The MK2s here can definitely hit up. Marius's APC could probably do a little bit of damage with the machine guns, but they need to keep him alive. So I would primarily be looking at the MK2s to be their anti-air now. You can see that they're going to try and set up some crossfire. Bob going in the same place I was during the last battle as my battle armor. And the aerospace still being alive gives them some advantage. I'm sure that Kentax took some significant damage from Serpentis. Both air pilots extremely skilled, so that was not a completely free pass. You see Kentax is going to now move in. He has excellent range with the 900 meter ERPPC and some of the other attacks. And why don't we watch from down here and watch the weapons fire up here as I grab a bite. see the LRMs not going to turn fast enough to track. They have the APC nearby, so they can waste LRMs. This makes Kentax have to move his airplane in a number of directions. You see he might have just maybe missed the shot on Gnome King. Perhaps hitting Burner. You see the LRMs firing away now. You see that they try to track. They did get 1 or 2 LRMs to hit there. He's in a 45-ton asset. Another shot off on Gnome. So Kentax is just going to sit here and do this until he dies. He's going to report their position. You can see they have a Arrow 4 missile with a long burn time, but terrible tracking capabilities. But if you get a lock on the plane, it certainly can sit there and provide good support. Kentax is just unloading right now. That ER PPC is going to add a lot of damage over time. He's going to take some damage a little bit, though. Those LRMs will eventually hit if they fire enough of them. He may back off for a little bit and let them go. So anyway, we've been move up a bit and get a position. You can see that he's trying to focus his hits on Stubaborn, Bob, and Burner right now, because those are the pilots that have been out in the open for him as he continues to go up and make his dives as his teammates join him on the ground at center, waiting for the plane to do its thing. And why don't we take a look from Kentax's positioning? The 900-meter range of the RPPC, 750-meter range in the LBX 10. This is the pretty standard attack pattern of how you attack with the airplane in this game. Go up, think about the enemy's head, fire off your weapons, break off before they can return fire. Mechs and other ground vehicles are limited in how much they can tilt up to point. See, Kentax's teammates are getting ready to move in. Kentax playing on the attacking side, and now the ground assets are moving into range to attack, and they are firing off Arrow 4 missiles and LRM missiles. Burner's team definitely has a range advantage here, but I would argue that the aircraft negates the totality of that advantage, as they are now deciding to move in and attack them. They have the Atlas A's with 3 Rack 5s apiece, are just absolutely nasty, terrible weapons at 500 meters and under, as Kentax continues to fire down. The teams are allowed to go inside that little base. They are simply not allowed to go into the initial spawn points to prevent a team from completely and massively turtling up. We see the majority of their forces are still focusing, for Burner's team, the defenders are still focusing up here. More than likely they have some of their assets continuing to take cover. So you see Marius taking the front, or excuse me, Shooter trying to line up a tag laser for the ATM missiles for the dual ATM 6s on the Morgan, 750 meter range. Meanwhile, Micro Pig is taking his back, is heavily damaged. Probably took a salvo of LRMs or arrows, but lucky for him, he has 1200 meter range with his left cannon, so he can fire from outside of their main range. Let's follow this team for a little bit. Invictus and Proxima, arguably the drop commanders for this team alongside Kentax, are sitting where they're comfortable. They've got Marius attacking. Shooter's going to go in, and we've got battle armor here, as I'm sure the aircraft continues to attack. Let's move in and see Shooter, a good pilot himself, but going against Marius, arguably one of the top remaining battle armor pilots. You can see why. Marius gets the best of their initial contact. Shooter will now have 2 lives to work with, and will have to spawn back from the APC, which is likely way back up in here somewhere. It's interesting that they've kept Proxima and Invictus up close with the rack weapon, and Marius, whoo! That's why. The MK2 able to get some shots off on Proxima. Their LAMs are their tank, which should should be piloted by Star Wraith, which should be moving up behind them. I think there's a single lambs there. So right now they're telling their pilots, let us get in close with the Mr. Bubbles, as they just go nuts, tearing through anything that gets close. The aerospace continues to fire down. It looks like that we've either had a disconnect or one of the pilots has run out of lives and has moved into spectate mode. So right now they are 7 on 6. Let's take a look around, shall we? Attacks resuming his attacks from above. Get some LRM fire off here. Gnome King, 1500 meter range with his missiles. Paps can down. Paps was the one that DC'd, so as long as his asset didn't get destroyed, he'll be able to take a harasser or spawn out of the battle armor APC holder spawning device, and let's follow him as he attempts to get back into his asset. His shooter moves the APC up to reload the ammo of the 2 rack hammers and the Morgu. Missiles away, trying to fire down with the tag laser. Burner fires off his mighty Arrow 4 cruisers. Falls a bit short. Marius still alive, so he's probably jumping up and down, trying to get a tag lasers. This laser points friendly arrows, friendly missiles toward an enemy. As Paps gets back into his asset, takes some heavy damage, he's probably going to die. Yep. So, they evened it up a little bit. Here's the aerospace in the background, continuing to fire. Bob taking some damage. The Atlases and the Morgus are now moving into attack range. It's breaking up the rhythm with the missile fire. Star Wraith beating the heck out of Luke Larson's Osiris while they continue to fire missiles and get an impressive spread in the other rounds as Luke goes down. Star Wraith takes some pretty good damage. Marius now trying to get in, fires more missiles. Marius basically acting as a mobile missile factory. Star Wraith is now taking some damage. He does take down Halo, so they've lost Sniper Light Mechs, but Star Wraith now taking some pretty heavy damage, and his Atlas friends are off to the left, so Star Wraith is going to have to attempt to get in here. Gnome King now firing, those lambs are only going to help him a little bit. Gnome King firing off his Lighthouse and ELR M15, which will do some pretty good damage. There's only single lambs on there. Star Wraith now has to decide whether he wants to pursue the Warhammer or if he wants to move in. Marius has now exhausted his 3 lives, so he'll be down, and now they will, the Foxman and the Vix sled team will move in and make their attack. And they have the numbers, they're just trying to wait for all of their pilots to move in and get together. This Micro Pig's attempting to stick back and see if he can get that Light Gauss to work. Bob attempting to jump jet and hit Proxima with his Gauss cannon. there, trying to peek around the side with this assault mech. Warlord Kentax has been killed. Again, happened off camera, but he was able to do some significant damage with that Sula. He did his part. See, Stubaborn's lost an arm. Burner should be probably pretty fresh. Bob's taking some pretty good damage. It's about positioning now. They're going to try and do what they can, but with four mechs remaining, Gnome's going to have to try and get into far enough position that he can protect himself, but still support them. You see, he has a long way to go to get in, and now the two teams are locked close to the battle, and this should Bob losing an arm, Burner trying to support. In a situation like this, you shoot what you can. Bob being taken down by the battle armor. Stubaborn will try to protect his leader Burner, but now it's just the con of Wolverine's Rebirth left. Final stand here, and at least he will take them out with him as the cold fusion explosion occurs. They still have Gnome King to take out, which I think they'll realize. So Gnome's they're gonna have to go catch up to Gnome, and Gnome's gonna have to decide how sneaky he wants to be. He's got enough range that he can try to kite them for a while, but unless that other team's taking a ton of damage, he's going to be simply trying to buy time. And this is about pride at this point, trying to do as much damage as you can and see if you can take down a mech or two on the way out. It's a bit lonely out there. I've been in this situation before, being the only survivor on one of these Chaos March drops, and boy, I tell you, it's exciting. Your adrenaline's running. You're trying to take down as many mechs as you can, but you know in the back of your head it's just a matter of time, and so you want to get it over with a little bit, but you also want to sit back and do your team proud. So you see Gnome trying to keep some distance, but realizing that those mechs are going to close in close, and he's going to get some shots off and try to blow some stuff up and see if he can take one of them down along with him. But certainly one of those cases where it was just a good battle, and ultimately Kentax winning the airplane battle was enough to turn it, doing enough damage to let his teammates move in, and they were able to control Marius pretty well with their rat cannons, and then they were able to move in with their assets. So let's see if Wolverine's Rebirth wants to get their revenge in the next map on Altair, the final map of the night. Thank you for watching the Chaos March Network.